We're all very much feeling it, I think. Put your hands up if you've been feeling overwhelmed, tired, exhausted, crying, maybe had a panic attack. Just me? No? I just had this download a minute ago that the level of healing that you've had isn't necessarily about avoiding the panic attacks. It's how do you deal with the panic attacks when they come? You know, how do you deal with the panic attacks when they come? And I think that's a really beautiful thing to start with, because the truth of the matter is that you will never unhuman. You can never stop being a human being. You can never get away from human emotions and our experiences. And I think something as a, whatever I am, a spiritual person, I find that sometimes, I find it difficult to human sometimes, being a spiritual person. And I think sometimes these days when we are brought back down to reality with the heaviness of this supermoon and the depth of the emotion that we're experiencing due to it being in Pisces, and then compile that with the 6 planets that we've got in retrograde, including Uranus that recently went retrograde 2 days ago, compile all of those energies with things, I think that we're all very much feeling our human selves at this current moment in time, that we cannot spirit fully, that we're having to focus on our bodies. When I say spirit, I mean attempting to integrate our spiritual selves, the larger parts of ourselves, the higher parts of ourselves, trying to integrate those back into our human selves, and in a beautiful way bringing together the higher chakras into the lower chakras and bringing us into a full integration and balance. And we are now at this beautiful culmination of what I'm feeling very much is the stepping into authenticity for many of us. We're about to leave behind an age that was built on narcissism, on lies, and on inauthenticity. If you think about when we go to work, we put this mask on, we have a uniform, we project something to the world that isn't us. And this is a level of inauthenticity. And for those of us who are very spiritual, very intuitive, very in connection with our souls, with that soft part of ourselves, it's quite a painful experience to have to go every day and pretend to be someone else. And we live in a world where we have to have this inauthenticity, this idea of professionalism, this idea of putting forth your best self, this narcissistic trait where we show each other our highlight reels, where people's Instagrams live on holiday, and we don't get to see the true nature of those people in our social networks in a real and earnest sense. When we were living in small communities, you would see the pain, you would see the suffering, you would see everything that your community experiences. When was the last time you saw someone cry? When was the last time you had somebody hold space for you when you cried? When was the last time you truly showed who you truly were? Because we've all been sold this lie. We have all been conned into inauthenticity. And by that manner, we've been shamed. We are shamed for being humans. We're shamed for having flesh. We're shamed for having urges. We're shamed for having sinned. We're shamed for having been a human. Half of the human experience is unlived because we are feeling it is shameful to do such. And this isn't true. There's no sin here. There's no shame here. There's bad things that we do to other people. But the things that you're living in shame of, you should not be in shame of. Because often you're in shame of your pain. You're in shame of the suffering you've been through. You're in shame of your urges. You're in shame that you ate too much. You're in shame that you spent too long on the internet. You're living worlds of shame that were handed to you by religion. And within this age of authenticity that we're about to step into, that has often been called the age of Aquarius, this age cannot have this falsity in it. And so we are all as individuals being called forward to step into authenticity, to show our deepest, darkest parts, to show the darkness and the light and integrate the two, rather than being ashamed of our hatred, our rage, our sexual lust, our wants, our desires. This age of authenticity is being birthed at this current moment in time. And this is such a powerful time for each and every one of us personally. We have the opportunity now to step away from the things that were not serving us, to step into authenticity, to ask for what we want from the world. Ask and you shall receive. Because we as individuals are far too busy feeling like we can't do anything to change our lives. And everything starts from the inside. If you want to change your life, you have to start with the inside. You can't wait for a parent, a lover, a spouse, a governor, a politician, a teacher. It doesn't work that way. You've been conned into thinking it does. So the people in power will stay in power. Because you think that you can't change anything because you're just one. But you are one of the greatest one. And when you become the change you want to see in the world, that's when the change really happens. Welcome if you've joined me here. We're going to be doing a super blue moon ritual today. And it's been a really big one. This year for many of us has been brutal, almost more painful than the time in COVID. This has been a time for facing yourself, for looking at yourself in the mirror of truth and recognizing how you have kept yourself behind, kept yourself small. And many of us do this through detrimental relationships, through not putting boundaries in, through seeing people we shouldn't see, doing things we shouldn't do, partaking in addictions, drinking, smoking, eating too much, eating the wrong food, even addiction to gossip, addiction to drama and trauma, and all of these things lower your vibration. And something that we've been called with this insane pattern of retrogrades that we've been having between these two full moons in August, the collective energy has been begging you to let go. To let go of the things that no longer serve you and step back into your power, remembering that if your life is not how you want it to be, there is only one person to blame, and that is you. And the beauty of that statement is that when you recognize that you are your own problem and you are the cause of the pain in your life, you are also the beginning of all pleasure in your life, all hope in your life, all change in your life. We're going to step over, so we tip from being out of power to into power. This is where we're moving from. And part of that requires us to find forgiveness for ourselves. And in finding forgiveness for ourselves, we are also finding forgiveness for others. Because we are one, we are one, we are one. We are all one. There is literally no one else on this planet but you. There's literally no one else here but you. Ponder that for a second. There is no one else in this universe here but you. The universe, the one song, the one God who's been singing to himself, to itself, to herself to entertain herself. Like finger puppets, we sit and we pretend that we're individuals, but we're all on the hand of God. There's nothing individual about any of us. We are all together. We're all one. When I hurt you, I harm myself. When we come to this realization, this will be the only thing that will be able to save this planet. When we recognize that the earth is us, when we recognize that the stars are us, when we recognize that you are us, that I am you, and at that point, nothing will be able to harm any of us anymore, because the wars will stop, the pain will end, everything that causes us to step into these worlds of hatred will end. And so it's very important that we now take time to find forgiveness. Forgiveness in ourselves and forgiveness in others and forgiveness for the things that we've done. And this blue moon is a very, very perfect opportunity for it. So, very serious start, good Lord. What did they want to say to us today? Let's clear the energy. Got very serious there, didn't it? Bloody hell. That's not what we needed after all those planets in retrograde and the blue moon. Good Lord, lighten it up, guys. Crikey. Whew. Anybody else find that was a bit heavy? It was like, bloody hell. All right, guys, calm down. Yes, we're channeling a new spirit here. Over here, I've got a new friend. Actually, I think I've got two, because that one wasn't the one I channeled earlier, so I'm not sure who the fuck that one is, but they're not happy. They're not a very happy chappy for what we've been doing to each other. But never mind. At least you can tell the difference between me and the other ones. Oh, I'm the one that's normally smiling or crying, one or the other. So, today we are going to do some forgiveness, because the forgiveness rituals are really important, okay? We need to forgive ourselves, we need to forgive others, and we also need to forgive very dominant spirits that come in with very flighty messages when we don't really need them. Because they're just trying to help. Thank you. Okay, they're just trying to help. And it's the same as... They didn't like that. They did not like that. I'm sorry. Woo. They were like, bitch. Take that back. Oh, no. Okay. Right. I'm very sorry. I am channeling some very, very big spirits over the last couple of weeks, and they're a little bit much. And I'm still trying to work them out. I put up a channeled message today, and I'm like, oh, do I want to put that on the internet? But I'm doing as I'm told. So there you go. Surrender and accept. So I would like you to start off with this question, okay? Because you're here for some forgiveness. And I'd like you to ponder the idea that forgiveness is actually a gift that you give yourself, okay? When we think about forgiveness, we often go, that person doesn't deserve my forgiveness. And you're probably right, the person probably doesn't actually deserve their forgiveness. A lot of the time, most people that have harmed us are not really conscious or aware that they've harmed us. And so when we say, I'm going to forgive that person, it can feel a little bit like we're letting them off. A little bit like we're saying, it's okay what you did, don't worry about it. And the truth of the matter is when we forgive somebody, we're not actually saying what you did was okay. What we are saying is, I'm letting it go. Okay? To forgive. It's like to give it back to the person who gave it to you, so they can carry it. Think of it like that. Because I work with a lot of people, and a lot of people have a lot of pain and a lot of hatred for the people that have hurt them. And I watch them, and it bitters them, you know? They get bitter because of carrying these wounds, and because they refuse to forgive, because they feel if they forgive, they'll be saying what you did was okay. And when we forgive somebody, why we're actually forgiving them is so that we can say it's okay for us to let go of it. And part of forgiveness starts with you forgiving yourself for allowing the action, allowing that thing in your life, for making a mistake, because we all do that, even in the worst of things where really nothing, you could have done nothing to change it. we still hold resentment for ourselves. What if I'd done this? If I'd done that? If I'd done something else? And we carry these things like bags of rubbish around with us. And after a while, that rubbish really starts to stink. And it gets really stinky. And then we get angry that we've got this stink following us around. And how dare that person have done that to me, to give me this bag of rubbish that I'm now having to carry around. Now, when you sit in victim mode, what we're saying is that we are not capable of doing anything about that. And we are capable of doing something about it. And we're going to do something about it today. Okay? We're going to let go of some of the resentment, and we're going to do some cord cutting today. So, cord cutting is a very safe thing. It won't hurt you, okay? It's safe to do. Obviously, hopefully you're not driving or doing anything dangerous whilst you're watching this, but if you are, don't close your eyes and don't join in with the meditation part for obvious reasons. Now, at this point, I would like you to close your eyes, and we're going to get comfy. So, I would like you to get comfy, cozy in whatever way you like. Now, some people like to lie down when they're meditating, and other people like to sit up or do whatever. Whatever way you feel comfortable, you do it, okay? And when you say meditation or hypnosis, people tend to get a little bit antsy. They don't know what it is. They don't know what it means. All we're going to be doing is relaxing your body. You're going to be dropping down just above the subconscious. And just above that subconscious point, it's almost like a dreamy state that's just going to hold you there just for a second. I'm going to let you go there. You're going to be there. It's going to be relaxed. It's going to be beautiful. And we're going to sit there and we're going to rearrange some of the boxes in your subconscious. And then when you come back out, you're going to go, oh, that feels better. That's all we're going to do today. And if at any point you want to come out of the meditation or the hypnosis, you just open your eyes like that. And you'll be back awake, back in the room. But actually what we're going to do today is we're going to go really, really relaxed and deep and calm. And you're going to love this. And this is going to be a really beautiful ceremony for you all. And it's going to allow you to release some of the pain, some of the suffering, some of the bitterness, some of that stuff, that residual stuff that you've been trying to let go of between this last full moon at the beginning of August and this full moon. So I'd like you to take a deep breath in. And out. And I'd like you to keep your feet flat on the floor. And you can have your hands gently in your lap. And at this point, I'd like you to begin to close your eyes. And we're just going to take some time now to begin to sink into that feeling of relaxation. And you may begin to be able to hear sounds around you. You might be able to hear sounds around me. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter. You're just going to allow yourself to step further into that feeling of relaxation, particularly after probably what's been a hard, long day of work, or looking after the kids, or serving your business, whatever you've been doing today. With that energy of that full blue moon, no doubt it's been bloody exhausting. So we're going to take a nice deep breath in and out. And if you begin to find that your mind begins to move away or drift into anything, just remember you can bring yourself right back to that breath again. Right back to the breath. Back into that relaxation. And remember that the breath is very cooling, very calming. The slower you breathe, the slower your brain goes. The calmer you become, the more peaceful you feel. And we're going to take another deep breath in and out. And I'd like you to bring attention to the top of your head. Imagine just above your head, you've got that beautiful purple crown chakra. that doorway to spirit that's just spinning there, like a beautiful spinning Catherine wheel, like a wheel spinning, sparks flying off it, illuminated. And it's in this deep purple colour, beautiful there. And I'd like you just to imagine seeing that spinning at whatever speed feels right for you. And as we process this in our imagination, seeing this crown chakra spinning round and round and round, I'd like you to imagine that that deep purple colour is becoming much more vibrant. And take a deep breath in and out. And see that spinning wheel nice and vibrant, really bright, shining like a beautiful purple light on the top of your head. And you may begin to feel like your head is just kind of opening up. It might feel numb, it might feel tingly. Whatever you're beginning to feel at this point, it's very normal. Please do not worry. Sometimes when we do this, you may feel like your head's being pushed down. You may begin to feel slight nausea, ringing in your ears. All of this okay. Just breathe through whatever is happening and recognize it's completely normal. And we're going to take a deep breath in and out. And we're going to bring our attention down to the third eye now. This is just in between your eyebrows, and we're going to imagine a slightly lighter colour purple now. And this beautiful spinning disc is spinning at whatever speed feels right for you in your incarnation in this moment. And we're going to begin to see that lilac colour, that pale purple, become more vibrant as that wheel spins in front of your third eye, just between your two eyes, in between your eyebrows. That third eye chakra that allows us to see through all the nonsense. And you may begin to feel something in your head. It may feel uncomfortable. You may begin to feel a stabbing pain in your head or a slight headache, anything like that. Don't worry about it. Just take a deep breath in if you're feeling anything. Imagine that spinning wheel becoming brighter. Breathe out. And just see that lilac colour becoming very vibrant, very beautiful, very clear. And we're going to move our attention down now to our throat. And this is a beautiful blue spinning wheel. Just a tiny little wheel spinning around on your throat here. A beautiful blue colour. Spinning at whatever speed feels comfortable for you. And I'd like you to imagine now that that blue light has become more vibrant, much more clear. More vibrant, more beautiful. Much calmer. Every breath you take, you're becoming more and more calm, more and more relaxed. And imagine that blue spinning wheel becoming more vibrant, brighter. And as we open up this chakra, you'll begin to find that your communication improves. Tomorrow morning, you'll be able to speak your truth more. You'll feel more confident and assertive to put your boundaries in place. And now we're going to move our attention down to our heart center, to that heart chakra that's on your breastbone, in between, right center of your chest. And this is a beautiful green color. Mine is like a lime green color. Yours might be darker. You imagine the color green that feels right for you. And that wheel is spinning at whatever speed feels right. you are beginning to feel calmer, more at peace with every breath that you take. And that heart chakra is beginning to open up. And again, this heart chakra allows you to feel love and kindness and compassion towards yourself and towards others. It allows you to come to the world in a more earnest manner, a more authentic manner, coming from your feelings. And take a deep breath in and out. And in and out. And imagine that green center becoming brighter. Clearer. And we're going to move our attention down now to just above our belly buttons. And here we move into the solar plexus, and this is the place where we manifest from. And this is a beautiful yellow colour. And we will begin to see this beautiful yellow colour, this chakra spinning. And imagine that colour becoming brighter, clearer. Moving down now into the sacral chakra, which is a little lower down, more between your pelvis, underneath the belly button. And this is a deep orange colour. And we're going to begin to see that spin and clear in that beautiful orange colour. You're going to begin to see that chakra becoming brighter, much more clearer, much more beautiful. And with this, it allows us to attain safety in our life, to have confidence in our life. And when you wake up tomorrow morning, you're going to be feeling much more confident, much more able to speak your truth, to speak from the heart, to manifest that which you desire in your life, to bring peace and happiness in. And last but not least, I'd like you to move down to your root chakra, which is situated at the base of your spine. And this is a beautiful deep red colour. You see that circle spinning, that little wheel spinning at the base of your spine. And you may begin to feel sensations. If you do, just take a deep breath if it's uncomfortable. Sometimes this can feel a little uncomfortable. Breathe in and out. And we're going to see that red colour becoming much more vibrant, much more lighted up, more pure in colour, more beautiful, more wonderful, stronger in colour. And we're going to take a deep breath in and out. And I'd like you to imagine in front of you that there is a line of people of whom you would like to forgive. Standing in front of you, you can see this line of them. They're all looking at you, waiting to step forward to receive your forgiveness. And you know the people that you need to forgive. These are people that have hurt you. These are people that have lied to you. These are people who made you sad, bullied you at school, told you weren't good enough, the teacher who embarrassed you, the friend that ditched you, the boyfriend that broke up with you. Look at their faces one after another in the line. You know everyone who needs to forgive you. And you know everybody that you need to forgive. And here in this line is every person that you need to forgive. A chance to offer that forgiveness. You can see their faces one after another after another. And with each person who you saw, as I said, that list of people that you need to forgive, you'll have felt a contraction with some of them. A feeling of, I don't want to forgive that person. They don't deserve my forgiveness. And take a deep breath in. And just see their face. I would like you to imagine each one of them as children. In their youngest form. They're about 5 or 6. They're just children. Silly children making mistakes. And when we see people who have hurt us in our lives as silly children that have made mistakes like us, we're often silly children that make mistakes that people get hurt in. When we can see them like this, we can forgive them a little easier. And I would like you to start today with this forgiveness ceremony as the ones that you can forgive, and perhaps come back to the recording at some point to see if you can forgive those that you really need to forgive. The ones where you contract and you do not want to give your forgiveness to them. So let's start small. At the beginning of that line, I'd like you to imagine somebody who you can forgive for something silly, perhaps a stolen item from school, perhaps a rude man that you met today, perhaps a rude woman that you met today, perhaps a friend that was curt and cut you off, perhaps a boss who was snippy this morning, or a co-worker that didn't say thank you for their cup of tea that you made them. Whatever it is, find that small offering of forgiveness that you can give to somebody and see that person at the beginning of the line. And I'd like you to stand facing them. And in this moment, in your head, or you can say out loud, I would like you to say to this person, I forgive you. And say their name. I forgive you. I'd like you to see that little child's face as they've been forgiven for their wrongdoing. How would that child smile? They'd feel happy that it was okay, that you didn't hate them, that it was okay, that they were forgiven. They could go and heal from it now, and you can go and heal from it now. Now let's start with someone a little harder to forgive next. This could be a parent, a brother, a sister, someone whom you love, but who you need to forgive. And I'd like you to imagine now that they are stood in front of you, again in childlike form. I'd like you to imagine you say their name out loud. Joanne, I forgive you. Jessica, I forgive you. Simon, I forgive you. Whatever their names are. Just forgive them. Remember that you're doing this for yourself to release yourself from this rather than them. And how about we move to someone a little tougher to forgive? Someone who you know really wronged you. Someone that really hurt you. Often an ex. There'll be love involved somewhere where there's bitterness. So see them standing in front of you in their form, and then watch them retreat back to a childlike self, a silly little child who's just making mistakes because they don't know what to do. And I'd like you to say their name, and I'd like you to tell them that you forgive them. And remember, you're forgiving them for yourself, to release these burdens from yourself, to release yourself from them, to cut these cords finally, once and for all. And this might stick in your craw when you say it, but say it, because remember, you're doing it for them and yourself. You're not telling them that what they did was right. You're not telling them that it was okay. What you are telling them is that you forgive them and you no longer hold this against them, and you no longer carry this burden because you deserve better. So take a deep breath in and out. I'm going to give you a couple of seconds here if you would like to imagine yourself saying to any other people who are in the line, anyone else you feel deserves the gift of forgiveness today, to allow yourself now to tell them in their childlike form that you forgive them, one by one. I'll be quiet for a moment. And you might just want to say out to the world, everyone of this world, I forgive you. Everyone that's harmed me, everyone that's hurt me, everyone that's made me feel small or feel less than, caused me harm in some way, I forgive you. And we can just send out that resounding prayer to the world, a healing voice of everyone, I forgive you. What a beautiful vibration that will be to send out at this point. Forgiveness to everyone. Not those that deserve it, to everyone. Now I'd like you to imagine yourself stood in front of you. And this is you as a little child. Look at how small you are in comparison to how you are now. What does your inner child look like? What age are they? What are they wearing? What can you see them wearing? I'd like you to hug them in your mind's eye. Just pick them up and just squeeze them. Thank them for being with you all of this journey. Thank them for being so bloody wonderful, so strong, getting through everything that we've all got through in this lifetime. Difficult childhoods, breakups, divorces, losing partners, losing family members, losing our grandparents, losing pets. For every pain, every trauma, every suffering that we've been through together, you and your inner child. And she's always been there for you. You've always been there for her. He's always been there for you. You've always been there for him. And take a deep breath in and out. And I'd like you to say, I forgive myself. I forgive myself for the mistakes I've made. I forgive myself for the people I've hurt. I forgive myself for the pain I've caused. I forgive myself for the boundaries I've crossed. I forgive myself for the boundaries I've let go of that caused me to become hurt. I forgive myself for everything that I've ever done, because ultimately I was doing my best. Take a deep breath in and out. And I want you to hold that inner child as tight as you can to your body. And begin to imagine that as you squeeze that inner child into your body, as you hug them, giving that lovely hug of forgiveness, they just disappear. They just disappear into you, like that, back into you. Straight back into your body, that inner child. You and her, you and him are merged again. And as that happens, I'd like you to take a deep breath in. And I'd like you to look down, and I'd like you to notice that from your sacral chakra that we just beautifully tuned for you, there is a cord, like an umbilical cord, that is running from your belly button. Take a deep breath in. Running from your belly button out straight through that line of people that you all just forgave. All those people that have hurt you, that have harmed you. Every single one of those has got a cord from your tummy to their tummy. This is this energetic cord that has been pulling you all together. And I want you to be clear that if you let this cord go at some point, when we cut it in a moment, this cord is just going to suck right back into your body, and you're going to bring all your energy back in. And you're going to feel really good. And it's going to begin to feel really nice when you have all your energy coming back into your body again, without it going off to everybody else. And I'd like you to imagine now that you've just got a pair of scissors in your hands. Just a pair of scissors. And you can just snip them, and you just start snipping. Snip, snip, snip. Snip, snip, snip. You're just going to snip away at that umbilical cord, the one that goes into all those people, every single person that is in that line. You're just going to snip away at that umbilical cord. And as you do that, it just begins to fall apart. And as that begins to fall apart, you begin to see the end of the umbilical cord. The cord is just moving back into your body, back into your belly button. And you're sucking all that energy back into yourself. And those cords are cut now. And they're drifting off. And as these drift off, you can begin to see that line of people that you just forgave. They're just drifting away, just moving back into the darkness of your mind, moving back into the ether, moving back into the darkness of the cosmos. And we just let that go. We just let that go. I want you to take a deep breath in. I'd like you to bring in to wiggle your toes. Wiggle your fingers. And when you're ready, begin to open your eyes. And I'd like you to begin to reintegrate yourself back to the room that you're in. And recognize that this moment of forgiveness that you just gave to all of those people and to yourself as well is an extremely healing moment, an extremely healing time for you. And with this beautiful super blue moon that we have at the moment occurring in Pisces, this is a wonderful time for emotion and intuition and desire, and for delving into our imaginations. It's also a time for us to lean in and commit to our innermost dreams and visions, and make heartfelt decisions about relationships. We also have Saturn, which is retrograding, and it's aligning with the moon at this current moment in time, and it's an opportunity for us to put discipline to make our dreams come a reality. So now, as we let go of the things that hold us back and we let go of the people that hold us back, we now actually have a beautiful chance to bring in and manifest the things that will bring happiness and peace to us. And so I would like you to make a declaration out to the universe, as we have been doing all night. And I'd like you to take a moment just to recite after me. I call my power back from every time, every dimension, every plane, every reality, every place, everything, every person, so that I can become whole again in this moment, and I can conserve and take my energy for myself. And I want you to imagine now that you are not only full and whole with all your energy just circulating around yourself, that you are now decked, adorned with a set of open chakras, and you are feeling good, you are feeling happy. Let me know in the comments how you're feeling. Hopefully you enjoyed that. I will post this up somewhere, so you will be able to, probably up on my YouTube channel. So if you're not following my YouTube channel yet, make sure you are following via the links in my bio. And if you would like to work with me or find out anything about anything that I do, I've got a free goddess group that you can access on Facebook. And I also have courses in magic. I have courses, the course in magic teaches you how to do astrology. Tarot teaches you about how to practice high ceremonial magic, the universal laws such as law of assumption, law of attraction and polarity and so forth. And I also have a conscious relationships course that's starting in September. So if you are interested in that, feel free to DM me and I can give you all of the details of that. Amazing, thank you. I'm seeing on the screen. You're very, very welcome. I so hope that the culmination of this blue moon tonight, the energy will begin to wane over the next few days. We still have loads of planets in retrograde, and I think Venus comes out of retrograde the 5th of September, and that should begin to ease things with relationships and with our personal self. But I think give it a week now, and you'll probably begin to see that by mid-September we'll begin to see a lot of this energy lifting and an opportunity for us to step into that rebirth energy and really think about who we want to become now that we've let go of all the things that was holding us back in the past. I love you all very much. I really appreciate you all being here.